Welcome to this lecture on rearrangement reaction. Today we are going to see the rearrangements occurring at electron deficient nitrogen. There are 5 major rearrangements which are categorized under this heading. First one is Hofmann rearrangement, where primary amide is converted into primary amine with loss of one carbon. So, this is also known as Hofmann's degradation reaction. We will see the example immediately after this. Curtius rearrangement, wherein acyl azides are treated with heat and you get isocyanate that can be processed to primary amine and loss of CO2. Lawson rearrangement is when O acyl or O aryl, actually it is not aryl, O aryl derivatives are of hydroxamic acids. When treated with base, you get isocyanate and thereafter it is work apart. Schmidt rearrangement, wherein the organic acid is treated with hydroxoic acid and in presence of mineral acid you get isocyanate. I will write down the mechanism for all these. And the last one is Beckmann rearrangement, wherein oxime they become lactam on treatment with H plus or some reagents wherein OH is transformed into good living group like Cl with thionyl chloride, PCl5, etc. We will see some representative example of each type. So, first of all, let me put the example for the Hofmann rearrangement, wherein your primary amide is treated with hypohalous acid and you get the formation of intermediate which breaks into the primary amine. So, I am not taking any example from here, I am taking some other example, the simple example. See, urea is one of the amide, is treated with NaOH and bromine and you get hydrazine with loss of CO2. This is the simplest example. We will come to the complex examples also when we go for the problem solving. So, first of all, the interaction between NaOH and bromine will make it NaOBr. So, NaOBr is the actual active species. When one of these attacks here, NaOH goes off and what we have will be having NH and Br plus NaOH. Now, this NaOH is already there in the medium, this abstracts a proton and you get the intermediate, wherein you can see that N is having negative charge and is also carrying a leaving group, comes here. So, this is a sort of rearrangement wherein NH2 group migrates, and now what we have in our hand is NH2. Then water attacks through its lone pair. You will be having, say, COOH, NH, NH2, and now CO2 goes off and ultimately you are having hydrazine as a product of degradation. So, primary amide becomes amine. Now, this is the simplest example. I am going to put some other examples also. Okay. So this is the simplest example. We will see some other examples also. Okay. So primary amide is becoming amine. Degradation because one of the carbon is lost as CO2. So this is Hofmann's degradation of amide to primary amine, and it's also known as Hofmann's rearrangement because you are getting the rearrangement of the skeletal structure of the molecule. Okay. Now let us put some different example. The example, I am not putting some simple example, I am putting some examples which are generally asked in the exam. So I am going to put the direct examples which are important. So I am not taking the example which are there with me now, I am taking for some different examples. Phthalimide when treated with NaOH and bromine gives anthranilic acid. This is the best example what we have with us. So the first step is the attack of OH at this carbon, and what you have the COONA, let me put it as ONA, and then this becomes CONH2. Then this interacts with your NaOBr which is formed between these two, and now the reaction mechanism is very similar to the earlier one what we have already shown, that is with urea, and the migrating group is the entire ring with that COO group. So I am going to put that COO group, C double bond O NH Br, then that OH minus abstracts a proton. Now this proton becomes acidic because you are having electron withdrawing group here, electron withdrawing group on the other side also. Let me put it as this, the entire group migrates and this goes off. So ultimately what we have, will have say COO minus, that is as it is, and now the ring will have bond with nitrogen. So this is your isocyanate and when you work up you will ultimately get the anthranilic acid. Now this is anthranilic acid, the amino acid, and this is phthalimide. So phthalimide becomes anthranilic acid upon Hofmann degradation, wherein one of the CO goes off as carbon goes off as CO2 and the other one is retained. So this is best example and often asked in the exam. So let us go to the second rearrangement. We will come to the examples later. The second reaction which we have listed is Curtius rearrangement. Now Curtius is with azide, so you have to remember that the starting material is azide, and then you have to simply heat it thermally or photochemically and you get the transformation to isocyanate. So let me put some arbitrary example. So Cl NaN3 or CON3, the Cl is replaced by this nucleophile, and when heated you get C double bond O N R, and ultimately that gives the degradation of the product. So what happens here, that we'll see. RCO N3 can be written like this. So this is minus, this is plus. This is with 3 valency, that is normal. So what happens is this comes here, this group, this electron goes on this nitrogen, and now you have got a nitrogen with negative charge and a better leaving group attached to it. When this comes back, this R comes here, this nitrogen goes off, and ultimately you get this. When you work up with water, you will end up with, so if I add water to this will give CO2 plus RNH2, the attack of water as a nucleophile across this isocyanate carbonyl, and that is how you get the product. Now we will quickly go to the other reactions also, and we will come back to the examples later. Next reaction we have listed is Lawson rearrangement, wherein this is your hydroxamic acid. Now this is the NHOCO CH3, or so this is O acyl or O aryl derivative, and this is being treated with OH minus. Now OH minus, the role is very clear. This proton is acidic, which is abstracted, and now we have N minus, and this entire group, whether it is alkyl or aryl, both are good leaving group. This comes back, R migrates here, this goes off. So ultimately what we have isocyanate, and this R can be alkyl, aryl, anything. This can be either aryl, alkyl or aryl. So accordingly it will be O acyl or O aryl derivative, and that is how you get isocyanate, and which breaks down into the isocyanate, and which can be worked up later. Okay. The next reaction is Schmid reaction, and then Beckmann reaction, Beckmann rearrangement. So Schmid is with acid and HN3 and H plus. So once again you will be having the isocyanate R N C double bond O, this is isocyanate, and then the same workup is there. Now first of all let us write down the reaction between the acid and this hydrozoic acid HN3. So what is HN3? This is HN3, and now once this is there, this goes here and this goes off after protonation. So what we have, we get NH 3 plus, and now the conjugate base will be there along with H plus. So isocyanate is formed, and once isocyanate is formed, the remaining workup is easy. So this is the structure of HN3, and you have to see that this is plus because it has got 4 bonds, negative because it has got only 2, the trivalency of nitrogen is fulfilled, so no charge. So this is the driving force, is the protonation, and that is how the reaction takes place. Okay. Now the next reaction, that is Beckmann rearrangement. We'll just see that and we'll try to solve some examples based on these reactions. So as I told you earlier, you can make a table, and that table will be useful in remembering or in understanding the various reactions when you come across with these rearrangement reactions. So far we have seen about 10 reactions. So 10 rearrangements you can remember when it is put up in a tabular form. So next reaction is Beckmann rearrangement. Now Beckmann rearrangement, the standard example I will put the oxime of cyclohexanone. So when this is formed when cyclohexanone is treated with, I will just put this arrow here, NH2OH, hydroxylamine. Actually hydroxylamine hydrochloride is there, and along with it some base is added like sodium acetate, NaOH, etc. That is how you get the oxime. This is nucleophilic addition reaction. Now when this is treated with H plus or PCl5 or SOCl2, the role of these two reagents is to convert OH into good living group like Cl. The role of H plus is to protonate this, and that is how it becomes a good living group. So protonation of this with H plus, of course we are talking about, when this goes off, the group anti to the OH2 migrates and you get the expansion of ring. Now that 6 membered becomes 7 membered, and of course N will be there. I am just putting this, and this carbon becomes electron deficient because you are breaking the 4th bond here. The water molecule which is there in C2 attacks here, loss of H plus, and then imidol amide tautomerism can furnish you the lactam. The cyclic amide is lactam. So cyclohexanone oxime to this caprolactam is the Beckmann rearrangement. Now this reagent, all these reagents can be used because the purpose of all these reagent is to convert OH into a better living group like OH2 plus. In these two cases it will be converted as Cl, and that will facilitate the migration of this alicyclic ring, and that is how you get the ring expansion. Now this is vital intermediate for the synthesis of nylon 6, nylon 6,6, the polymers. So this will be a monomer for all those synthetically useful things. Okay. Now let me put some additional example for this Beckmann. One example what we have here, this looks different, but let it be, no problem. Nitrogen, one, two, three, four, five, six membered ring, and then let me put your different region. What we have is the, now you got N H C double bond O. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So there is a ring enhancement and the mechanism would be same. Only thing is I am showing it with thionyl chloride. So let us write down the mechanism for this transformation. I am just cleaning it so that I can show the, this is thionyl chloride. One of the Cl goes off, and now let me put it as it appears. And O S double bond O Cl. Then this comes here, SO2 goes off, minus SO2. So this compound is transformed into and the remaining things are easy, because wherein you have to show the migration of a group, and these two things, like one group is added like NH. So like this 6 membered becomes 7 membered. So this group will migrate here, this goes off. So when this group migrates, you will be getting the other group, like product is given here, wherein you are having nitrogen with CH2 and then CO. So naturally this group is migrating. In this case, this goes off, the group anti to that, and then the intermediate I am going to put, this is N, this is the same, let me put it as it appears, and then it will be N double bond C here, and this will be plus. Okay, yeah. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Now let it be like this. So 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So this is 6 and this is 7. So this is attacked by water, and whatever mechanism we have written earlier, the same thing you can show, and that is how you get the expansion of ring to this cyclic amide or lactam. So that is the second example. I am going to put few examples wherein you can practice regarding today's thing. I will just quickly put few example, at least one example of each rearrangement here. Let me put all those examples so that you can practice. Bromine, NaOH followed by water. I am putting the products also. This is one, the second one, N3. Some different examples I am putting. NHPH, so third one, Lawson rearrangement. NH2OH HCl. I am just putting the reagents which are given over there. Phosphoric acid, and second is KOH. Product is also mentioned, not this ring product. Let me put the 1, 2, 3, 4 and then becomes NH2. Just write down and we'll check the carbon numbers. 3 Hopman, Curtius, Lawson, then Schmid. I am putting some different example here. R dash, HN3, H plus, R, CO, NH, R dash, and one more I am putting, that is for wherein you have to predict the product and write down the mechanism. So in third example, what happens is this becomes CO NH2, or you write down all these things, steps, and then come to this, then HN3, and now here instead of acid now it is ketone. This is your classical Beckmann rearrangement with oxime. Now we have to see the migrating aptitude of the groups and accordingly put the product. Okay. Now these 5 reactions you try to do, and maybe in next lecture we'll see more examples on this rearrangements at electron deficient nitrogen. We have to do one more, that is electron deficient oxygen, and once we are done with that, we have to see the sigmatropic rearrangements, the thermal photochemical rearrangements, and lastly we have to revise the things, and that is what the rearrangement chapter is all about. Okay. These are 5 reactions. You try to put the mechanism, and if some problem is there, I will come to your help. I will solve all these examples maybe in next class, and that will be the total problem solving session on this rearrangement at electron deficient nitrogen. Of course, I will come up with some additional examples also, not only these, some more examples hopefully from your question papers, so that it will be helpful for you in future also. Okay. Thank you for your patience for today's lecture, and we'll continue from here next day. Thank you.